way to crack funding is really not to chase funds. I think another thing that Sanjeev Bikhchandani had mentioned was that it's better to build a business from customers' money than investors' money. And that probably answers the second part of the question in terms of chasing valuations and chasing investor money, because I think if you have customers that are willing to pay, you've really you validated your business and it's a really solid business idea. Um, I think the way to raise funding is having a set of customers who really love your product. So customer love is something that runs across any idea, and if you don't have that, then it's better to solve that first, because if you are being able to solve that, you will probably realize that you'll have a set of customers and a target group, as we call it, a TG of customers who really like what you're doing, and you would see that those common personas or those type of customers are actually across everywhere. So might start from a city like Mumbai, or a city like Delhi, or a city like Lucknow for that matter, but you'll realize that those customers are actually present all across the globe. And once you crack that, right, then for you scaling is faster. And what really excites investors is the customer feedback, the customer reviews, and the customer love. And knowing that if you crack that, then you can really scale. And I think using that money, so for a large part of Quark entirely, we weren't funded. I was running bootstrap. We were a very lean and frugal way of operating. And even for Beco, I think for the first better half of our 3.5 year journey, for 2.5 years we were bootstrap, right? So we were running entirely on our customers' money, and that really taught us a lot more than I think investor money could. And I think you'll eventually be able to get that once you're being able to build a solid business idea that people can bank upon. But before that, if you can learn it the hard way of really building it with the customers first, then it teaches you a lot of things about your customer and what they're willing to pay for. And then you can always go and raise investor money, because I think capital is abundant out there, guys. So if you feel that no one's funding you, it's just you're solving a different problem. Like, you're thinking you're solving an investor problem, but you're actually wanting to solve a customer problem. So knowing that an investor knows, saying that there's not enough capital out there in the market, or there's not enough investments out there in the market, is not the response, because there are deals going on through and through even today. And even in the most recession, you'll constantly find companies that are being funded. If you crack the customer problem first, you would not have the need or the strong need of running an investor money, and you can see the idea through on a long-term basis. So have a longer-term vision in your idea. I think most founders chasing valuation are having a different agenda or a different goal in mind, and that's probably not for the long term. And that's probably for a shorter period, and that works for them. And I think, with all due respect, that works for them, and that's the goal, and they probably do well in achieving it too. But decide what you really want to do. For me, and I think it's important to quote Mark Zuckerberg on this. When he was building Facebook, he got a offer from Yahoo to buy him out for $1 billion. And his board of directors had asked him that, what would you do if, this company was to sell? And he said, I don't know. I would actually end up building another social media platform, right? So it's important to know that for how long you're building and why you're in the game. And if you're in it to do that, and if you're really doing that, then, $1 billion is really nothing in compared to the $350 billion or $400 billion that the company is worth today. So if you have a long-term vision, you will be able to see investments and all as just cycles and not a reflection of what you're building.